Working from home, you feel so alone. Cabin fever's running high. 5 o'clock comes, it's happy hour, but all you do is sigh. When the cocktail hit the spot, it's time to just relax, mix up a bit of history. Go ahead, put the kids to bed, and please drink responsibly. Join me for happy hour history. Hey friends, Kim McCann here, program developer at Prairie, and your host for another episode of Happy Hour History, where we mix up some historical cocktails and talk about some alcohol-related history. Today, on this episode, we're gonna get punched. Who doesn't love punch, right? No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that. No, we are making true and genuine alcohol punches today, much like the punches that have existed for about 400 years. Punch, its origins are checkered. Mostly what it boils down to is the contention between England on one side and India on the other. Chances are that England may have improved or added to or modified the punch that they experienced while they were in India. And sailors in India for the spice trade probably brought back some version of it. There's a lot of culinary etymology that occurred because of the spice trade and sailors traveling back and forth, so that's probably the most logical. The word punch itself, that is also in contention. So when we look at whether or not punch comes from India, the Hindi word for 5 is a punch, and the classic West Indian punch has 5 ingredients: a sour, a sweet, a strong, a weak, plus spice. Sour being citrus juice, lemon juice, sweet being sugar, strong being alcohol, a weak being tea, and spice, usually nutmeg or something like that, cardamom. So those 5 ingredients could have been called punch, and then that slowly turned into punch. The other option that we have to look at is if we were looking at it as being a British invention. A puncheon is a wine cask that is about 84 US gallons. Indulge me for a moment when I tell you that a puncheon is about 1.5 hogsheads. A hogshead is a unit of measure, believe it or not. It's a barrel or a cask about the size of a large hogshead. It holds 63 US gallons. It takes about 2 hogshead to make a butt. That's 126 US gallons. So now you know when someone says a butt load, volume speaking, that's 126 US gallons. That has very little to do with punch, except that I'm talking about it. We're gonna move on. We're gonna do today's episode a little bit differently than we've done in the past, just to save some time, because we are making 4 different punches. We're making a brandy and rum punch, we're making a gin punch, something called a Roman punch, and then we're making a gin-based punch called Sawyer's punch. So I'm going to read off the recipes to you and show you how they're mixed up, and then I'm going to get them iced up and give them a try. I will put the written out recipes from Jerry Thomas's Bartender's Guide at the end of this video. So if you want to make them yourself, you can go to the end of the video and give it a pause and get those recipes there. But otherwise, for brandy and rum punch, take 1 tablespoon powdered white sugar, 1 wine glass or 2 ounces of Santa Cruz rum, half a wine glass or 1 ounce of brandy, approximately 1 ounce of lemon juice, 1 slice of orange cut in quarters, 1 piece of pineapple. For gin punch, take 1 tablespoon of raspberry syrup, 1 tablespoonful of white powdered sugar, and dissolve both with a little seltzer water. 1.5 wine glasses of Holland gin, so 3 ounces, juice of half a lemon, 1 slice of orange cut in quarters, 1 piece of pineapple, and 1 or 2 dashes maraschino. For Roman punch, take 1 tablespoon of powdered white sugar, 1 tablespoon of raspberry syrup, and dissolve the two with a little seltzer water. 1 teaspoonful of curacao, 1 wine glass of Jamaica rum, approximately 2 ounces, half a wine glass of brandy, or 1 ounce, the juice of half a lemon, about 1 ounce. For Sawyer's gin punch, 2 ounces of gin, 1 ounce of maraschino, the juice of half a lemon, 1 ounce of syrup, and about 6 ounces of club soda. All right, look at that. Look at that lineup. Is that not a beautiful lineup of punch? This is what a celebration is all about. And let me say something about punch drinking historically. It was pretty close to Bacchanalia. It was very much about socializing and community. People generally drank from a large communal punch bowl. They passed that bowl around. And when you look at some of the early etchings from punch parties or illustrations of punch houses, people look like they are having a fantastic time. So let's find out why. First up, we have a rum and brandy punch. That's really nice. Not a bad punch. If you like tropical rummy flavors, that would be the one for you. This one here is the, which one is this? I swear that is the first drink of anything I've had today. So this one is the gin punch. Now, I really like that. If you are a gin drinker, you will enjoy this. If you're not a gin drinker, you could probably make this the same proportions of everything else, but just cut back 1 ounce on the gin and you wouldn't know the difference. But if you are a person who enjoys gin, and Hotel Tango makes some pretty good gin, then I suggest this punch here. Yeah, that's very nice. So our next punch is the Roman punch. It's quite a melange. It's quite a mix. Let's give it a try. No, I quite like that. It's fairly refreshing. Probably not what I would choose to drink more than a glass of. But this is the one I've been waiting for, because this has almost all the things that I love in it. I did make a substitution because I ran out of lemons. There's a lot of lemons. But I had some limes. So I substituted lime juice, and I think that's perfectly okay. If you don't have lemons and a recipe calls for lemon juice, you can substitute lime, back, forward, same, reverse it, you'll be okay. So this is the Sawyer's punch, which is also a gin-based punch. Already I'm excited. So it is that gin and cherry and lime, and this one does get topped with some seltzer water. So it's not going to be as concentrated as these other 3 punches. I think this will be a little more refreshing, so I'm excited to try. This is the winner. Oh my gosh. That is so fantastic. Listen, it doesn't matter if you drink gin or not, or if you like gin or not, or if you've had gin in the past and you didn't like it, which I don't understand, but also you were probably drinking cheap gin. This is amazing. It's so refreshing and light. I think the lime is a stroke of genius substitution on my part. I think with the lemon juice it would be a little too lemony and tangy. The lime and the cherry and the gin, yeah. So I know exactly what I am making to drink on the back porch for the first big summer barbecue that I have with a good friend of mine. This is summer. It's so incredibly It's so light and so beautiful. You have to give it a try. I do want to say, before we go, big thank you to Hotel Tango, as always, who have been so kind to share with us some of their fantastic product. They are open for curbside service, and they can fulfill all your spirit and hand sanitizer needs. Thanks, Hotel Tango. And I'm going to keep drinking this. So, yeah. I have to say, of the punches, if I'm going to get it in my face, punched in my face, it's spiraling quickly. Join me next week when, in anticipation of May 30th, which is National Mint Julep Day, I am going to be mixing up a couple variations of the mint julep, as well as one of the possibly original juleps. Cheers. That's my summer. That's my summer.